Make a U-turn. In 1,000 feet, slight left, take the next left, sharp left, turn right on, continue on, in a quarter mile, at the light, in 600 feet, turn right on. You have reached your destination.
Want to run me through the specs on this?
Certainly. So it's an MGB 5-main engine. It's bored 20 over. Crankshaft is done 20 and 20. Crankshaft end play is right within specs. Camshaft end play is right within specs. We've got shallow dish pistons. Volume of the dish is 6 cc's. As they are, the shallow dish pistons are 6 cc's. Now, you wanted a kick-ass engine. Just remember, you did. So what we did was we did a trial assembly with the crankshaft and connecting rods and pistons and rings, and we set the deck height to 0. The deck height is how far below the deck the pistons are when they're at the top of their travel. And usually they're about 25 thousandths down from the deck. But by doing the trial assembly, measuring the deck height, and then taking it all back apart, and then milling that much off the block, we end up with 0 deck height, which raises the compression. Then we CC'd the cylinder head, and we milled the cylinder head. The early heads, 63 to 71, were large chamber heads at 43 cc's in the combustion chamber. The later heads from 72 to 80, both the big valve head, the 12H2923, and then also the CAM 1106 head, the later head, those were 38 cc's. So we milled your head to achieve a combustion chamber of 36 cc's. The compressed operating thickness of the head gasket that we all use, the Payenne the Lucas, compressed operating thickness of the head gasket is 041.
Okay.
So if we do the math, the bore is plus 20, so that's 3.180. Standard bore is 3.160, so we're 20 over at 3.180. The stroke is a stock stroke at 3.5, 3.5. Piston dish is 6 cc's. The deck height is 0. The compressed operating thickness of the head gasket is 041, and the cylinder head combustion chamber volumes are 36 cc's. Do the math, your compression ratio is 10 3/4 to 1. Now we've got your yellow 7-plate plastic fan that you bought. We have a high output alternator.
It's 100 amps, right?
I'm not sure of the amperage, but it's definitely high output because stock is like 30 or 35. Whatever it is plenty of amps for you. I got you a new connector kit. Got your high torque starter motor here. That's all set to go. Got your Hemi freeze plugs here.
I love those.
Left them unpainted so they look nice for you. I thought you'd kind of like that. Got your inverted spin-on oil filter with a Purolator Boss air filter.
And Mallory distributor?
Mallory distributor, that's your Mallory distributor.
I bought that from you about 2 years ago.
Yep, exactly.
Returned home.
You stored it nice. Yep.
And obviously you've got the tap cover vented.
Yep, that's okay, and then the air filter.
Yeah.
So that's good, and your oil filler cap is vented, so we can get adequate crankcase ventilation. We've got a new 180 thermostat for you, new clear solid, the green gasket, that's the good gasket.
These are HS6s?
HS6s. Both the intake and manifold and your exhaust header are port matched to the cylinder head and to the manifold gasket. And I give you, on the instructions, I give you the part number for the competition manifold gasket.
Okay, well this is in. Took a little bit of doing, but I got it. Gotta love that thing. So you can see that I don't have the motor mounts tied down completely I want to have a little bit of play so I can fiddle with it if I need to for the transmission. The transmission needs to be. I would have provide some, what do you call it, surgery to it. Actually, now that I look at it, maybe I should have cut off those ears before. Well, I don't know. These puppies are gonna have to come out. Right, and like I say, I've got some play in the motor mounts, so I can jack that up, zorch them off with my angle grinder, and provide what I need to provide easily. Hopefully, that does not impact that. That's your shift fork. I think I'll be okay. Anyway, so I built myself some grounding straps. There's one. There is the other. I've already tested continuity and I'm good. I'm glad that I took off the carb, the exhaust, and one of the tappet covers. It made everything go in so much easier. And I'll show you something interesting. So, mates up just nicely there, but it doesn't there because it's too tight down there. So I'm basically just going to cut this off about 6 inches back, and I'll take it to a custom fabricator exhaust guy. There we go, exhaust person, to have them fix that, or put it all together. Let's see if I can. Come on now. There. Let's try the middle one. Maybe I should just pause and re-record. So yeah, so the center one doesn't fit either, so I've got to cut that back. That's absolutely not Dick's fault. That's the manifold creator, and that's even not a big deal. Like I say, I'll just cut it back and have whoever custom fab something. The exhaust, that is, because I don't like messing with round tubing. I'm not any good at it, and my welder is kind of pathetic at it, so I'll have somebody else do it. Let's see what's next. So here's the carburetor and so forth. Here are all the bolts and nuts and stuff that go with my exhaust, etc. I'll probably put that in a box somewhere and leave it quietly as is until I get the body on. And that's it. So what's next? Obviously, the rear tranny mount. Yeah, I'll get to that. Here, look at it on this side. What I'm going to do, after I zorch off that piece, those two ears, these things, I'll take this off as well, because that's the mount for this transmission. I've got scads of this square tubing, so I can make a mount pretty easily, and that won't be tough at all. So, not bad. I kind of like this. This is nice. Good looking transmission anyway. Yep. And I wanted to mention, this is the piece that goes between the body and the transmission. These are the holes that the steering shafts go through, so I'll change that around. And don't remember, it goes like this, basically, right? And again, I had taken mine off, knowing that last time I did this, it was much easier to put the transmission and engine in with that thing out. So I'll give it a wash and put it back in. Okay, well, here we go. Cut the ears off. I was going to cut them completely down, but there's no sense to, and I just don't want to get on my back and cut off crap that doesn't need to get cut off. So I've got the transmission obviously resting on a 2x3, and when I put the entire thing down, transmission rests on the center section there, and I don't want to do that. Mainly for vibration and that kind of thing. I don't want this car to be buzzy or whatnot. So, I'll cut this out. This here is a extremely stout piece of 2x2 tubing. I used this stuff to great effect when I made my MGA trailer years ago, and I've got spare, so I'll pause and put it in there and show you how it's going to look. There we go. Alright, so I've got, 2x2, and I've got, I don't know, half an inch of clearance. So what I'm going to do is drill these holes straight up and down. I'm going to leave the leave it open like this. Weld it here and at the other end, both sides, so it's nice and strong. And that will be that. I've already test fit my my drive shaft, and it fits perfectly with 1/4 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch slop back and forth, shall we say, play, which is good because that's what you want. If there's flex, whatever, you don't want the transmission to take the brunt of it, and the end bearings and so forth will get hashed. So it floats a little bit like the MGBs do. And it fits perfectly up against the bolt pad in there, so that's good too. And that's that. So without further ado, I'm going to drill the holes and get her going. Well, there's my weld job. There's an old adage in welding: if you can't weld, then you better be able to grind. And given that this transmission's already in and it's not moving anywhere, I'm not gonna grind, and you're not gonna see it anyway. So I did put a couple of bolts in there, minus washers, because I just wanted it to fit correctly, and I'll take these out. Damn it! I'll take these out and then lift up the transmission and paint everything. Put some cardboard down or whatever and let it dry overnight. And then I will, well, tonight I think I will put the actual drive shaft on. So I'm not displeased. I'm pretty excited. And yes, I'd like it if you don't laugh at my welds. Let's take a look at the amount of clearance. It's just... So I may find a piece of foam rubber or something. See if I can get in there better. Yeah, it's 1/4 of an inch of clearance ish, whatever. Again, I don't want the transmission to rub on the front tube because I don't want to hear the rattle or noise, but I may lift this up by just a skosh, and that being with just a little bit of foam rubber. Whoops, to give it some, and maybe I won't. I don't know. I'll have to think about it. But there we go. So I wanted to show you what the native mount looked like, and I couldn't use this. I tried a different possibilities of how could I rearrange this and on, but I can't. So this is it, and this is how it looks. I'm going to take it off and throw it away, probably. It's a freaking boat anchor, I'll tell you that, it's heavy. It's got the same wall thickness as what I just put in, that's for sure. So I did a good choice on my 2x1/4 inch, 1/8 inch, whatever, tubing. Okay, so I thought I'd just show you this while I kind of, whoops, there it is. All right, so you can see that there is a good inch of distance here. This is the drive shaft all the way into the transmission, and you can see that it mates out. So just like a normal MGB, whether normal, I don't know, transmission, it'll do the same thing. So again, you want that play for when the car begins to move and flex. I greased up the innards and the outards, and I'm gonna put it together now. In the meantime, sprayed the shit out of this. It looks pretty first class. I also did the interior, and I'm using Chassis Summit's chassis paint. So this is good stuff. As far as I'm concerned, it's one of the best. So there we go. And there she blows. I'm all done. Got a little bit of dust in there, but no big deal. Yeah. Yep. All tied off, looking good. Got a hell of an LED freaking light thing. God damn, this thing's awesome. You can see that the Driveshaft has a grease zerk, looks like. I think it's awfully nice. I've got bolts on there. Those are awfully nice. The whole thing is, there's a balance weight on there, by the way. That's awfully nice. And I used, if you remember, the same stuff that I used inside the car for the sound deadening, that sandwich foam stuff. I took a chunk and I used it there as well. So whether or not that'll be the right thing to do or not, I guess we'll find out. But, you know, second sound, all eyes are on you. So what's next? I've got to think about this. Probably put the body packing kit on, you know, the cork gasket, a little bit of a cork gasket, on and on and on. At some point, I need to figure out the accelerator pedal, because there's the assembly, and that's for the left-hand drive. Right-hand drive is different. I had planned on cutting off the pedal and putting it on the other side, which I still could do. In fact, I still just might do, just because it's going to be easiest for me. Well, for me, because I like doing that kind of stuff. Or I'll see if I can buy the part from somebody in England and do it the all-natural way. You'll notice that I had to cut out that, or cut up that front cowl, I don't know what you call it, because this transmission is beefier and bigger than the MGB ones I've seen in the past. It's certainly bigger at the bell housing area. Okay, it's got 5th gear, so that's not surprising, right? As Dick had mentioned, there's the actuator. Those 2 bolts there are for the slave cylinder. There's the backup light, and I want to put some carpet on there and on the other side as well. And damn it, what am I trying to say? Put the speakers in just to get them out of the way, and so on and so forth. So a lot of small stuff.